Snacks and games and laughs galore. We bring fun straight to your door. Pop culture, talk and trivia, history and new video games. Movies, music, wrestling too. Sports and stories just for you. Every week a brand new show. Come along, it's time to go. Soapbox or dashboard, oh hey. We're here to brighten up your day. Grab a snack and take a seat. Let's dive in, the fun's complete.
Hey everyone, and welcome in for episode 114, The Birds and the Bees of The Birds and the Bees. We're your host. I'm Jason.
I'm Ray.
I'm Jonathan.
And basically, we're going to talk about animal
shoulder
sex.
hurts.
Well, okay, that's asexual reproduction right there causing this.
Oh God, it's gonna separate.
But yeah, we're going to talk about the birds and the bees of the birds and the bees. There are three major types of reproduction with animals. There is heterosexual reproduction, and that is where
Males and females.
it's a male and a female.
Traditional males and females.
Then there is hermaphrodital, where they can basically, like, they have both male and female parts. And then there's kind of like this, like, asexual reproduction, where, like, pieces of them break off and they just regenerate as, like, a new thing. And then there is, like, you know, where the animals have sex and have live birth, and then there's where they have, like, give birth to eggs, or not birth eggs, but they lay eggs, and sometimes it's fertilized during intercourse, and sometimes it's fertilized after, but it kind of depends on the species.
And then some like lay eggs inside themselves and
Yeah.
they hatch inside. And
Yep.
then an alive baby comes out. Like sharks do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called oviparous.
And so, kind of the first way that it starts is there's always some sort of foreplay or something like that.
A courtship.
A courtship, yes. But before we get to that, I found this shit called Camelicious Lifelong Camel Milk Chocolate Milk.
Is that a brand? Tell me
Camelicious?
the lifelong is the brand. I don't
That's-
want it to be part of the description.
Camelicious.
Camelicious is the brand.
What makes it lifelong?
I don't know.
Because it'll kill you right after you eat it.
We'll find out. This may or may not be the last episode.
Camel milk goes great with tea.
Hopefully this isn't from a bull.
They're like tea. This tea came
Dude.
from a bull.
I was just going to stab it with a...
I always have.
Oh, look at that! Jonathan's packed and ready.
I always carry a knife, man. Always.
Why not?
It doesn't even set off metal detectors.
What? Really?
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
That's what I thought.
That's discerning.
Right? And I was like, I know I'm not going to kill somebody with it, but like,
Yeah,
how
but
many
I don't
people
know
are
if
in
that
here right
guy's
now?
doing it.
How big of a knife can you carry in this thing?
You just next
Oh,
time you
shit,
go
dude.
in, just
Is it chocolate milk?
carry
Yeah.
like a
Okay.
carry like a
I
bigger
was like, I'm not
piece.
drinking that. It's not chocolate milk.
Next time you go through metal detector, just carry like a bigger piece. See what you can get away with.
Like they'll hit my like Altoid tin. It's
They're
just a
like, "Oh,
hollow
what's
tin.
that?"
It's like,
And then you just like set it down,
Alright.
and they're like, "Okay, yeah, you're good."
I've got enough like metal in my shoulder and stuff that I'm always shocked it doesn't set it off. 'Cause I've had to put
Alright.
it anchored
So
like 3 times.
The camel milk thing is kind of, I mean, not really that much of a foreign concept
Whoa.
in other countries. The cow milk is a foreign concept in other countries. I mean,
Yeah,
Especially India.
they're-
like a lot. Well,
they're
a lot
like,
of
why
Europe,
would you drink that?
a lot of European countries, it's goat and sheep milk, and
Yeah, I know goat milk's real popular because it doesn't have
Mhm.
any lactose in it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you don't,
That's
you
the
don't
thing.
have that. You don't get lactose intolerant from it at
Yeah,
all.
and that's the thing. I mean, we're not lactose intolerant because we drink cow's milk.
Yeah.
and so we don't have to worry about like cheese and stuff being bad for us. It doesn't go through us. We can consume all this stuff because our bodies are basically immune to it. But I think if we took like probably like 20 weeks off of milk and just didn't have any cow's milk,
yeah,
and then we go back to it, then we'd be like shitting our guts out. Be like, guys, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but this is killing me now.
I am good with every like other kind of dairy product, but if I drink straight regular milk, if
Mhm.
I have it with cereal, I'm okay. But
Yeah.
a glass of milk will mess me up.
I can't do
You're
it when
like,
it's
"Oh,
hot
fuck."
out.
But I never want to drink just a glass of milk.
Mm-mm.
If it's chocolate milk, I'm okay.
Oh, I
Just-
drink
it has to be
milk
like
all the time.
regular milk, and that'll mess me up
I
fast.
think I drink milk all the time. And I
So-
think it's. Let's try this.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has so much chocolate and sugar in it that it's probably not even going to. It just tastes like chocolate milk.
What you got?
It's literally just chocolate milk. It's got a little bit of a
Little bit
bitter
of a
aftertaste.
taste, but other than that, it's just
Yeah, it's a bitter
just a bit
aftertaste.
of chocolate milk.
Yeah. I don't know.
Not bad.
That's not bad.
Okay, I don't hate it.
So, yeah,
Kinda
it's
like
not
a,
something I'm
like
going
a
to go.
chocolate protein shake. I don't know if you ever had that, and it has like
That's
some
what it-
chemical taste
yeah.
or something after. You're like, oh, it's not that bad. What is
Yeah,
that
but
shit?
it's got that little like aftertaste where it's kind of bitter.
Yeah. So back to foreplay or courting, however you want to call it. So there's different ways. Some animals use their colors. Some of them use mating dances. Some of them build nests to
Some
attract their
some
mate.
use hormones or
Some of them have hormones. Some of them pheromones. Some of them taste each other's urine and stuff
Ew.
like that.
we're not using plants, right? This is just
Just
No, we're just
yeah.
gonna do animal kingdom.
okay.
Yeah, there's like 6 different kingdoms throughout the biology tree of life,
Mhm.
but we're just strictly focusing on the animal kingdom right now.
Okay.
So like
And that includes like insects, snails,
Right.
humans.
blue-footed boobies, they dance. They do a foot dance.
Blue-footed boobies
I know.
are birds.
I remember the first time that I ever heard that. Like I laughed so fucking hard.
And they're
It's
like,
like
no, it's a
7th
real
grade.
thing.
Yep.
I'll be like bird watching, and I'll be like, oh look, there's,
We don't
there's a tit.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say we
and then
do have.
everyone's like, really, Ray?
I
You're
saw a
supposed to be
whole-
looking at
Mhm.
birds.
I
and
saw
I'm
a whole
like,
meme
I
that was
am.
about like trying to get humans to flirt like birds do, and they were like all doing like crazy dances.
Oh,
They were,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
mimicking
yeah.
and
They're like,
stuff. Yeah, they're just doing ridiculous dances and movements around each other, while the other one was like, "The fuck
So-
is going on?"
Like, what the fuck?
Like seahorses, for instance, will change colors and stuff like that to try to attract a mate. And then what's different about seahorses is the males have a pouch that the females transfer their eggs to.
Yeah, so they
Actually,
give birth. The males give birth.
So
full Arnold
what
Jr. style.
about the color changing?
Mhm.
They actually change colors during mating as well,
Mhm.
and they will basically lock their, little coils together, and they'll spin around and dance, and
Mhm.
they'll change colors while they're dancing, and then basically the female inserts, it's what's called a ovipositor, which basically is like an egg holder, and she shoots eggs into his brood sac. And then his brood sac is basically where his sperm is kept.
Yeah.
So all those eggs go in there, and all those sperm's just like, cool, we're going to get onto these things. And
I think in super like deep waters, there's bioluminescence.
yeah.
Yep.
And they use that to attract. I mean, they use that for a million things. They use it
Well,
for
and some
hunting,
of
they
them,
use it
some of
for
them use
communication.
songs and stuff like that too.
Right.
Yeah, they give birth to up to 2,000 fully formed baby seahorses.
Mhm.
Good lord.
So, like, imagine your belly's just like, oh god, I guess shit, guys, this is gonna happen. Oh!
It's gonna be so weird.
So bowerbirds are one of the birds I was talking about that they build their own nest, or they build different nests, and they collect flowers, they collect beads, berries, whatever they can find that's colorful, and then like make this fucking artistic, like give you an idea right there.
Yeah. And like penguins will like give rocks to each other.
Yeah,
as
you've seen the Pebble and
gifts.
the Penguin, right?
No,
It's like
I've
old.
just
It came out when we were little kids.
I haven't seen it. I've just seen too much Discovery Channel late at night.
Yeah.
Flatworms do penis fencing.
Oh yeah, they do. They fight each other.
They
What's
try to
the
stab each other basically because they're hermaphrodites.
what's the one that you said that had the like
That makes-
singing
I don't know how that
penis?
makes me feel better that they're hermaphrodites, but it does.
Okay, so the water boatman Hang on. Let me scroll down. The water boatman is an insect, and it's barely 2 millimeters long. I was gonna look up a picture of it, and then I
It's
got
incredibly
distracted.
tiny.
I got distracted with Splice.
It's like
There's-
2.54 centimeters is an inch.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. This
Way
is
less
2
than that.
millimeters.
Yeah, way less than that.
It produces some of the loudest mating calls relative to its body size. It literally goes up to 99 decibels.
That was loud.
So it's really loud. Let me look up water boatman real quick because I want to see a picture of this.
So, fiddler crabs attract a mate by waving to them with their claw. The males do.
Like
They're
Zoidberg.
like,
Fucking literally, like,
"Hey!"
Yeah. The little fucking sideways.
Oh,
walk.
look at these little things. They literally just swim in the water.
Oh, that's got to be almost invisible to it. That's got to be super zoomed in. Those are going to be like
Mhm.
those tadpoles.
Yeah, they're little bugs on the water. Basically, okay. So what they do, they have a stridulating penis. So basically, they rub their penis against their rigid areas on their abdomen, which produces a chirping sound that carries underwater, and it's even audible above the water. The sound is believed to serve as a sexual advertisement, signaling fitness and attraction.
The red light district.
They're like,
Bugs.
hey,
Jeez.
just like slap your dick against your
Uh,
abs. Like, yeah,
Porcupines
what?
will
Like,
will spray each other with urine to show that they're attracted to them.
I mean, it's going to be
Yeah,
hard
they-
to even
they
make
pee-
contact if you're a porcupine.
Yeah.
Right?
it makes
Yeah,
the
be
it makes the
creative.
females like more receptive to mating. So they're like, because I mean, you're pokey, right?
Mhm.
You're porcupine. They're like, I don't know, man. You're kind of hard.
Pufferfish will make sand art on the floor of the ocean. They or of the water wherever they're at. Not always the ocean, but they
I think they're strictly saltwater, so I think they are just
just
oceanic.
freshwater.
They're freshwater.
But they
Puffer?
they'll use their fins and they'll make these little swirls and stuff like that and be like, I made this Picasso for you. Let's fuck.
They're like, yo, you want
Yeah.
this
Starry
shit?
night looking deal.
Yep. Giraffes will neck each other.
They fight
try
like
to
that
yep.
too, don't they?
Yeah. Oh man, have you seen the videos of them swinging their heads,
Yeah,
fighting for a
it is
mate?
like-
And
They're violent.
I'm like, dude, could you imagine being on the receiving end of that?
No, they're humongous.
Mhm. And yeah, and then giraffes will lick each other's. They'll taste each other's pee to see if that's what they want to do. I'm trying
I'm
to
just
think what-
imagining like a bunch of animals doing a podcast about all the weird shit we do to them.
Yeah.
There's like a snail doing podcasts about like these humans are not hermaphrodites. Like the fuck.
They only have one, guys.
They do
There's
this
only
thing
one.
called tossing the salad.
Oh
Don't they know what comes out of that hole? Like,
oh my god.
and flamingos do kind of a dance too, and it's kind of like a little like funky dance, I guess. And usually the tallest males are the ones that kind of go first, and then it kind of goes down from there.
Yeah, because I know like in some species it's like
Mhm.
the one alpha takes control over all
Yep.
females. Like
Yeah,
lions will kill the cubs of like other
Mhm.
male lions, and they take over for a while. And I think it's that way with like the giant saltwater crocodiles. They have a whole territory and they have claim to.
Didn't you also say that like young male lions know that they aren't the alpha and they basically turn gay?
There have been
Or
plenty
cases of it.
of male lions just
Mhm.
being gay.
they're just like, meh, whatever.
I don't know if there
I
are any like
accept my
female
fate.
lesbian ones.
So outside of a handful of primates and dolphins, like that's it as far as animals, the outside of humans that have sex for pleasure that it's
Right.
known.
That we know of.
Mhm.
Yeah, they can. It's just for reproduction.
Yep.
For everything else.
But like dolphins have been known to like
Well, they'll hump humans.
they'll
man.
hump humans, they'll hump walruses, they'll hump small whales, They've been known to hump dead fish.
Have you seen
Ew.
that King of the Hill episode where Hank Hill gets a like dolphin experience and it like rapes him against the
Oh
wall?
my
or
gosh,
whatever?
I remember that. Garden snails shoot love darts at each other. They have this little like I don't know what it. Yeah, it's a sharp calcium spike that the snail shoots at its partner, and
For foreplay?
that's foreplay. Yeah, and
Is that where we get the Cupid myth?
both snails. Okay, both snails shoot the love darts, and that's how they attract each other because they're hermaphrodites. And then they're like, "Hey, this looks good," and
Hey, yeah. So most snails are hermaphrodites. Some
Mhm.
snails are not. But
yeah,
all the time, whenever snails mate, they have to mate with another snail, because I mean they can't really reproduce asexually.
yeah.
It is possible, but it's not really possible.
Well, yeah, and then something we didn't talk about, but a lot of like you will notice a huge difference between males and females on some species, like based off of color and stuff like that.
Size.
Size too.
Yeah.
Like on peacocks, for instance, the males have a lot brighter color. They have these big giant fan tails and stuff
yeah,
like
they have all that
that.
plumage.
I have mandarin and wood ducks, and they get these really bright colors.
The
Aren't-
males, right?
Isn't
Yes, the males
aren't the
do.
females all like
Brown.
gray and
They're
brown?
gray and brown.
It's
brownish
like,
Yep.
what the fuck? They're just boring.
Yep.
They're looking
And
at us like, look at that. The chick's all dressed up, and the dude just like walked out of the house in a tank top.
tank top and
He's not even trying.
Yeah.
Like, that dude's not even fucking trying.
They have glitter. They don't even do anything with
What
it.
the
Yeah.
fuck?
But yeah, there's all sorts of different courting things.
Komodo dragons, they have a virgin birth. They can actually reproduce without a male, and they learned this recently. I think there was a female in a zoo, and she was like completely alone in the UK, and she laid eggs, like viable eggs, after years
Mhm.
of isolation from any male. So they were like, "What? Like, how is this happening?" And then, yeah. So it comes to find out, like, they can reproduce without a male
Mhm.
through a process called parthenogenesis, where an unfertilized egg develops into an embryo. So
That had very recent. I haven't heard anything about that.
yeah, this happened, I think, in like 2010.
So-
something like that.
Now we're
last
going
year I
to
was in biology was 2008.
now we're going to talk a little
Pre-med,
bit
so-
about some of the parts that these animals have to work with.
what about the fact that like frogs and certain species can switch genders?
Yep, frogs can. So ducks.
We learned that from Jurassic Park when we were kids.
Yep.
Remember that? Life will
That's
find a
how
way.
that's how they reproduce. So ducks have spiral penises, and
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As-
corkscrew shape.
Yep.
Yep.
Pigs have control over their penis, and it's like they can move their muscles and basically like poke it around like a little stick. Kangaroos, they can. Kangaroos.
When you guys make some shit up on me later, I'm gonna be pissed. Like,
Kangaroos have a double penis. The males do,
What?
and then the females have 3 vaginas.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
that sounds like the start of one of those like early algebra math
Sci-fi.
problems.
Oh.
What the fuck?
So, two of the vaginas are used to transport sperm, and the other one is used for childbirth. But I don't know why the males have a double penis. It doesn't explain that. But yeah, praying
Australia's fucked
mantises.
up, man. Australia's super fucked up.
Praying mantises. The females basically kill and devour the.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Same
where
with the
we get-
redback spider.
Yeah, black widows. That's where we get the term where like a female human kills off
Yep.
her husbands or mates or whatever because they will straight up kill them.
So in Australia, they have the redback spiders. They basically somersault during mating. The males do, and they place their abdomen directly over the female's mouth. So basically while they're mating,
They face fuck them.
yeah, he like face fucks her, but then it's like
Had to go there, huh?
it ensures that he's like mating with her, so she like keeps his sperm, and then he's just like, yeah, that's my kid. But then it's
So
like you don't get to see him; you're dead. Like,
snakes
like,
have.
well, what
seen
made
that.
sure my lineage goes on,
I've seen
but
stuff in zoos where they try like desperately to try and get some of these like endangered insects to
yeah, these
to mate, but they'll kill their mates and
These-
like they'll do it before sex a
Yep.
lot of
Yeah,
times, and
it's,
they're
like,
dealing with
fucked up.
endangered species, and so they can't just keep like running them in there into the buzzsaw.
Yep. So snakes have a thing called a hemipenis, and it's just this little like thing that they shove air into to make it inflate, and then it's kind of like a forked penis, and they just kind of whichever one goes in goes in.
with these insects like the mantises and the spiders, they
Mhm.
will continue to like fornicate after like while they're eating. So
Yeah.
they're like getting eaten, and there's like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna go to town. Like,
If I'm gonna
let's
go out, I'm gonna go out.
oh my head, whatever. I'm still going.
Get this:
It's like, where the fuck is our brain at?
male
I
dragonflies.
think we know.
Male dragonflies have an appendage with their genitals that allow them to clean sperm from other males before mating with the female.
Oh yeah,
That's some efficient
they can
shit
like
right there,
sperm
man.
Yeah.
removal.
Lions are just killing stuff off. They're like, oh shit, I could have just done that. Okay, my bad. I won't kill the next
You're
one.
like, I
Yeah,
could have
they-
just cleaned it off. Octopus will have mating arms, and when they mate with a female, they just break off.
And like the
Yeah, it like
Yep.
shoots off basically.
the females will guard the nest till death.
Yeah.
They'll just die. And they'll just wait as long as it takes in front of the nest that they have.
Apparently,
And they're some of the most intelligent animals, maybe number 2 on the planet behind us, if they're not ahead of us.
bats will have sex for longer term than most other mammals to ensure that their sperm reaches the egg.
That's where
So,
Batman
yeah.
got his name, huh? With all
Huh?
that willpower. That's how Batman got his name.
Yeah, I
Had
guess.
nothing to do with anything else.
Yeah. Sperm spreads throughout the water with pufferfish. They just sit there and
Just
and then
fertilize the whole deal.
yep.
Whatever happens, happens.
People, a pippa
Super
frog,
swingers.
they have back brooding, which is where they keep
Oh,
the
yeah.
eggs on their back. So it's literally like embedded into
Yeah.
her skin of her back.
There's some arachnids, some spiders and stuff that do that.
Oh god,
as
that's
well.
so fucking weird.
It's super creepy looking when they zoom
Talk
in
about
on it. and
finish on my back, baby.
back shot.
God.
Have
So
you seen that the deal with Chris Pratt where they're talking about comebacks? They're like, America loves a comeback, and they start like Rocky, and they start naming this stuff, and he's like, yeah, Kim Kardashian, and they're like, oh yeah, what, Kim Kardashian? He's like, yeah, Kim Kardashian. You know, I'm pretty sure she got cum on her back in the middle of that video.
Jesus.
It's an outtake, and like all the producers are like falling on the ground laughing, like can't make noise. It's the more you watch it, the funnier it gets. It's hilarious.
So chameleons have hooks on their penis, and that is to ensure that like basically the female can't get away until fertilization is complete.
I mean, you can tell with a lot of these animals, it's like because chameleons are from like Madagascar. That's a very isolated island off the eastern part of main Africa.
They're kind of they're in Hawaii too, and it just kind of depends on the
But
type
those
of chameleon.
isolated like islands like that. You know, I don't really know much about like Galapagos reproduction, but you would think it'd be pretty.
That's where
weird.
I mean that's where a bunch of research has been done, just because of the variety of species there. But yeah. Wombats have an inverted penis, which is really weird.
Oh my god.
Several types of fish, like clownfish and grouper, have the ability to switch sex.
So that's in
Yep.
fish as well.
Mhm.
I didn't know that was more.
Oh,
I
here we
thought it was
go.
Just amphibians. Oh.
That's the one that you sent to me.
No, I just made the great joke about it.
Oh, the echidna has 4 penises, and if you ever decide to look
Well,
at it,
It has one penis, but it has a four-headed penis.
Yeah, it's a four-headed penis, and if you look at just the head of it, it looks like a deformed like baby foot or something.
Yeah, it's
Like that's the easiest way to describe it. And the echidna is an egg-producing mammal. Ugh. I'm just gonna scroll past
where
that.
is the echidna from?
Australia, probably.
I was like,
It's It's like a porcupine,
Mm-hmm.
basically. It's like a hedgehog.
I know exactly what it looks like.
Yep.
It's kind of soon because
I've seen Sonic.
I think platypus. I think they lay eggs.
Black
mammal.
widow spiders kill their significant other.
Orb web spiders have a like genital divorce kind of mating,
Mhm.
where basically the male's penis will break off during copulation.
Oh, we were talking
Like
about
their
the,
entire penis just,
Yep.
Man, that's a high price.
and then it finishes without the male.
So-
It's just
I
like, I'm
realize
out.
that like we're all thinking about this logically, but like they can't masturbate.
I think
Yeah.
I think that
There's
I
no
think
other
the
option.
spider
Monkeys
is
can.
just like
What?
Monkeys can.
Well, yeah, but like none of the animals that just like straight up give up their lives. And
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
are-
yeah,
when
yeah.
you tell the girl, God, I want to break it off inside you.
That's where it comes from.
That's where it comes from.
That's
Yeah.
where it comes from, man.
What is it? The anglerfish.
Yes.
So when it mates, the males are so much smaller than the females, and when they mate,
I mean, it's like
they basically
that
become a
to, like,
parasite.
that.
Yep, they become a parasite on the female.
They're
the rest of their
terrifying,
lives just-
by the way.
Huh?
They're terrifying looking. The
Yeah,
females.
they look fucking weird.
All that deep sea stuff is alien shit, man.
So naked mole rats are social animals that live in a hierarchy, and
It's like prairie dogs.
they have like a queen that is responsible for all the reproduction of the group, and the other females don't mate. They just help dig and find food and everything like that. So basically, it's kind of like a beehive.
yeah. Like there's
Yep.
certain insects that just have one queen.
Yeah, and it basically sounds like an orgy. Like she's just in there to like just laying back, just letting all these
Sounds
males
like a
come in there,
bukkake,
and
not a fucking orgy.
basically, yeah, that's what it sounds like.
So with the orb web spider, the males are much smaller than the massive cannibalistic females. So if she's not receptive or if he's clumsy, she might just eat him. So the way it works is the male inserts one of his pedipalps into the female's epigene, the genital opening.
Mhm.
During or after sperm transfer, the pepidal breaks off and remains inside the female. So literally his dick breaks off and it stays inside of her. And then
Uh,
he just like, I'm out, I'm bye.
So
He's like, I'm flipping out of here. Like, get the fuck.
That's the escape hatch.
mosquitoes
Price you have to pay.
mosquitoes can mate basically by bumping into each other in the air. They just, and that's how it's just one little off bumps,
What?
and they can fucking die, all of them.
So we've been raped by mosquitoes our whole life. We thought they were just
Well, no, they're eating our
They are
blood,
in our blood,
but
yeah.
yeah.
So the disconnected pedipalp acts as a mating plug, preventing other males from inseminating her. So it's basically prevents her from engaging with any other males.
See, so basically,
That's
like
crazy.
the end of the sperm hardens and creates a plug, like a cork.
Yeah.
That's fucking
the
weird.
thing that breaks off is just
And then after using both pedipalps, sometimes with different females, so he has two, or twice with one, the male becomes sterile and often dies shortly after. Wow. Sometimes willingly sacrificed as a meal to the female.
Jesus
Jonathan, why don't you tell us about hyena clits?
Oh,
Christ.
yeah.
I don't know the minutia of it. I'm just aware of it that the females have pseudo
I got some-
penises. It's like super. It's not
I got some weird shit on it.
remotely fucking close to the size of. the
So
anklet you've
they
ever
have
seen.
the largest clitoris of any animal, some growing to 7 inches
Yeah.
in length. And it's kind of like like you said, a pair of pseudo penises, and they're
They
used
like
for
dock.
urination, sex, everything.
Okay,
And
so the basically the pseudo penis, which is in spotted in female hyenas. Basically, this clitoris is elongated and fully erectile, forming what is called the pseudopenis. So that's where it comes from. Basically, it's just a super long clit.
Which functions basically.
Yeah, and the structure is indistinguishable from the male because their labias
Mhm.
are larger, so it looks like scrotal sacs. So like that's why they get confused. They're like, "Oh, it's a dude," and then it's just like, "No, it's a female hyena."
Yeah.
Like,
So it's just like Thailand all the time.
yeah, it's like what the fuck.
so,
So at first glance, you can't really tell like males from females. So another reason why it exists, though, this is a product of extreme female dominance and androgenization.
Androgenization.
Yeah.
Androgyny is where you look like
Mhm.
both.
It's
Mick Jagger.
exposure to high levels of male sex hormones like testosterone during development. So, female hyenas have 3 times the testosterone of females in closely related species. So, like any other dog, they're like, yeah, that's way higher.
If you see, those like female bodybuilders that look like
Yeah,
me,
that's
and
like
you're
the female
that's not a
hyenas.
thing.
They're just like,
Well, like if they will grow like larger clits, like that
Mhm.
big.
oh wow, that's
Yeah,
fucking
like-
crazy.
And like males, their testicles will shrink for taking testosterone.
That's
Mhm.
Certain
insane.
anabolic steroids, and God knows what they're on nowadays in 2025.
So these hormones cause the clitoris to grow into a phallic shape and also lead to aggressive, dominant behavior. So these females are all just like, "Yo, I'm the boss of you, bitch."
That's how I
Like,
found out
the
about. I was
fuck?
watching a documentary on like
Hyena
large
dicks?
mammals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the that's what I was
Hyena
searching for.
dicks.
It was basically like they were looking at like lions, cheetahs, leopards, stuff on like African Serengeti area, and they were talking about hyenas. And they
Dominant.
were just talking about them being dominant, and then they like at the end they're just like, and by the way, they basically have a dick. See you later.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? What? You can't go that at the end. That's
Dominant females pass on better genes and get access first to food and mating opportunities. So evolution favored masculine feminine. So it's like they're dominant, they get to do whatever they want. So it's kind of like, yeah, we're going to take all this food now.
yeah. That's what like lions are like. They get everything. That's why they call it the lion share. It's because
Yeah,
first
it's the
alpha
fittest.
male
The
just-
fittest. I mean, the strongest are the fittest.
You ever seen
So-
that South Park deal? They do the whole like Nintendo Wii trilogy and stuff, and Mr.
Okay, this
Garrison
is where it
becomes
gets
Mrs.
really weird
Garrison.
because this is the mating part. So the males must insert his penis into the female's pseudopenis, which is only possible if the female voluntarily retracts her clit. So, like, basically, her clitoral canal needs to be retracted in order for the other hyena to mate. So the male won't get anywhere with her if she's just like, "Nah, you a bitch. Like, I'm
It's
gonna fuck
basically like
you."
cry-
He's like, "Ah." Then it's like, this requires immense cooperation and precision, making hyena mating one of the most socially complex in the animal kingdom. Males typically only succeed with if the female allows it, reinforcing female choice.
Weird.
The birth canal runs through the pseudopenis, which is so narrow and long, and it bends sharply, making it dangerous for the mother and the cub. Up to 60% of the first time hyena mothers' cubs die during birth, and in some cases, the female's pseudopenis tears, causing fatal bleeding. So it kills like both the mother and the cubs.
Jesus.
As far as their cubs go,
Mhm.
so from these alpha females, litters contain up to 1 to 2 cubs, sometimes 3, but it's mostly 1 to 2. Cubs are born with their eyes open and teeth and fur, and they literally begin fighting immediately. So they like sometimes will eat one of the siblings, and that's how they depend. That's how they decide like which one survives, basically.
That's like with sharks. They'll
Yep.
be
Yeah,
inside
they
the
like
shark and
consume
Yep.
each other.
they'll
They eat each other, and they're just
and
like,
then
all right, well
most
that
dominant,
one's the next.
insane
Because
eating
sharks will
machines.
be pregnant like up to 12 cubs or
Yeah.
pups at once, and
Dominant.
usually just 2 or 3 survive.
It says dominant female cubs inherit their mother's social rank as well. Now, as far as evolutionary debate goes, scientists are still divided over why this extreme genital evolution occurred. It could just be hormonal byproduct, or maybe a female control theory where it prevents forced mating, giving females total control over reproduction, which is a really rare trait in mammals because, like every other mammal, it's like, yeah, the males just fuck you and then they leave. That's it.
Pretty much.
It could be social signaling theory. The pseudopenis is used in greeting rituals, whereas like hyenas sniff
Fucking
it.
shake hand.
Yeah, no, the hyenas. You want to shake my dick? Well, you can shake my clit.
You guys seen it?
Hyenas
It's
sniff
ridiculous
and
looking.
sometimes erect their pseudopenis to signal alliance or submission. So
Oh, so it's not even. So it's like conversational and stuff, but it's not even.
yeah, they're
it's
like
more than
they're
sexual
like
stuff.
they
It's
smell it and they're like, hey, flex it at you, and it's like, what the fuck? It's so weird. These sources come from Social Development in Wild Spotted Hyenas, Journal of Mammalogy.
So bees, or the queen bee will release pheromones that suppress the mating abilities of all the other females in the hive.
Mhm.
So just like, bitch, like I'm the only one getting some dick.
We're talking
out
about,
here.
and we're
bitch,
just
man.
talking about honeybees,
Huh?
right?
Your bottom bitch.
Yeah, and
You-
then
You're talking about honeybees only,
Yeah.
right?
and what it says and a lot of other bees have the same kind of hierarchy.
Well, for the most part, I mean, the
But-
hierarchy, yeah.
But yeah, the queen will suppress everyone else's, all the other female bees' ability to have sex, and then the queen will only leave the hive to mate, and she'll mate with as many as 20 males in air,
Yeah,
and then she goes back and lays eggs.
the male's only thing to do is mate, and that's
Yep.
it. They don't do anything else. They eat, they sleep, they mate. That's it.
Mhm.
They don't go out of the hive. They don't leave. They don't
So
venture
the
off.
females are the drones.
They
who
go
do
out-
all the work.
The
They go out
workers
to
are all
mate.
female.
Yep.
And every
Wow.
bee that you probably have seen is probably a female.
Female.
There's no way it was a drone because I
Mhm.
mean, literally they fuck and then they die. That's it. So, honeybees, they're called drones. The males are called drones. They mate mid-air in a drone comet, sort of a comet formation pursuing a virgin queen. Now, once a male mates, his penis is literally ripped off and it's left inside the queen. So it's like another mating plug. So like no other male can fuck her now. So it's like boom. Okay.
Do
well,
they die
it's-
right
and they
after?
die. Yeah, they die immediately afterwards. It's like all their guts rip out and everything, and they're just like the female can like just use it and whatever.
All right, we're going to talk about blue whale genitals. So the female has a very large vagina, as you would assume, and the male,
Relatively, or just because blue whales are humongous?
I mean,
Wait,
probably both.
real quick before we go on. The queen bee mates with multiple drones on her signal nuptial flight
Mhm.
and stores their sperm in a special organ called a spermatheca, and it stays there for years to fertilize eggs. So that's how
Mm.
the queen literally fertilizes eggs future on, and it's just
Just
like
Store it forever. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
they just keep it for years.
So-
and she's like, I'm gonna make a bunch of girls with it.
A blue whale's vagina has to be huge because the male's penises can be up to 10 foot long and weigh anywhere from 390 to 990 pounds.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
a big dick.
That's almost as big as mine.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah, I could barely squat that dude's dick. That's impressive.
So it's basically saying that the female's reproductive organs must be comparable in depth. Could you imagine like swimming and
No.
then a blue whale
No, I
swims
was
above
trying
you?
not to as soon as you started,
And
now
then
I
all
have
of a
to.
sudden, like,
oh,
like
fuck.
it queefs or something and ends up sucking it in.
Oh.
She's like, "Oh yeah, that's the spot."
What the fuck? Whales getting all horny and shit.
Is it just dolphins, or is it other marine mammals that have?
What if
sex for
there's a
pleasure?
whale that
It's
listens
mainly
to our
just,
podcast?
I think,
It's
like,
just what the
beluga
fuck?
whales,
What
I
about
think.
porpoises? I mean, they're super similar.
What was that?
Dolphins and porpoises. It's both of them, isn't it?
Mhm. I think they're essentially the same, and I think beluga whales are kind of in that same little boat. But other than that, primates, like we were at Topeka Zoo, and there was a monkey that had its butt up in the air, and the other one was sitting there like shoving its finger in, and then like
It's
would
just
put it up
like-
to its nose and smell it, and then it was like cheesing like big time. And like I had to watch a second, and then I was just like,
You
"That's
didn't
not
have
a."
to. You
I didn't
wanted
have
to.
to.
You
But-
wanted to.
Well, at first I thought I
You're taking notes, weren't you?
I had to make sure that it was the ass. I was just like,
He's
slow
like,
down a
is it
second?
sticking
Yeah.
its finger up its ass? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, kind sir. You asked the zookeeper.
mhm.
Do they do that all the time? No, it's just when
you.
kids around.
Yeah, we train them to only do it when they're like 7
"Oh
and under.
shit!" So a 6-foot drop usually severs a baby giraffe's umbilical cord.
Oh my
You
god!
never seen a giraffe be
They
birthed?
just
oh, it's
fucking drop-
dramatic. They
Dude,
just plop
I
out.
wonder
they
how-
walk around with it.
I wonder what the
sometimes.
rate is of times that like a baby giraffe drops that far and like breaks a fucking leg or something.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue. Is if it doesn't stand up quickly, it'll die,
Mhm.
and they can barely stand because they have those tiny. I mean, like the
Yeah, they got
the
tiny
baby
little
deer
legs.
leg type stuff. It's
Yeah.
way worse with giraffes than
Well,
deer.
and it sucks because like sometimes they'll have birth, and there'll be like cheetahs and fucking lions
just-
just
yeah, they'll
waiting, to,
attack.
like, yeah, let's drop it out. Come on, let's eat it. And the giraffe's like trying to fucking kick it because it's like, what the fuck, like get away.
I've only seen them in actual in zoos give birth, not in the wild.
Well, nowadays there's, lately they've seen males,
Like guarding.
guarding. Yeah, so like the male giraffes are like at the front, and they like watch for lions and shit. Because now it's like, well, now we got to be like elephants now, because they did the same with elephants, and elephants are like pack animals now too.
Yeah.
So they realize, I think they're like, hey, we can't be alone anymore. Like
I've-
us just being
I've
tall
only
doesn't
seen
work.
one aspect where, or the one instance of, like a full-grown healthy elephant being eaten, and that was taken down by like a bunch of female lions.
Yeah.
And it was in the middle of the night, and so it's all difficult to see. It's like
Yeah.
infrared and night vision watching it, and they just jump up and like lock their claws into the elephant, and they like take turns biting on the spine until they like paralyze the back
Paralyze
legs,
it,
and then
yeah.
because usually they kill stuff pretty humanely by just grabbing the throat,
Yeah.
and they
I mean, you
just
can't really do that with the elephant. It's
no,
too big.
yeah,
Yep.
that's a lot of food
So
for them.
speaking of lions, young male lions that have been ousted from prides will form coalitions and take over a pride and gain mating rights with the females.
Yeah.
So they're like, we're coming in to fuck your bitches.
Yeah, they're like
Mhm.
not juvenile, but like teenage year type. They've got that. They're growing the mane, but it's not quite full.
Sorry, I just read this fact. And I got it. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
So okay, the chichlid, is that how you pronounce that?
What?
Chichlid
Ooh.
fish carry their eggs and young in their mouths to protect them from predators.
What the
Like,
fuck?
Yeah.
when like crocodiles and alligators do that, they'll carry them from the from the nest into the water, where most of them are gonna get eaten.
Emperor penguins, the fathers incubate the eggs.
Yeah, they hold
That's
them, like,
actually
on their feet.
Yeah, and that's actually pretty common with a lot of.
Wonder if that's just because they're bigger,
Yeah.
more heat.
What? Okay, kangaroos have the ability to pause their pregnancies for unfavorable conditions.
Huh.
So there's a lot of animals that will like
Oh,
kill
yeah.
their babies if they think that like there's no way that these babies are going to be safe.
Yeah, we do that.
Marsupials
Mhm.
actually in Australia, they do have the ability to like pause
Mhm.
pregnancies. They delay it,
Mhm.
and it's usually when it's like droughts and stuff. There's like not a lot of water, so they realize like, oh, we shouldn't have this much population because if we do, then we're gonna have less. So they even
run
like
out of
put off.
resources.
Yeah, they
How
like.
long can they do it? Like how long?
Well,
can they
they'll
pause
put off
it?
mating and stuff, and then
Hmm.
they like literally retain the baby.
How do you, like how long can they?
I
Pause
don't
it?
know.
I
You
don't
think
know.
that it'd be like it wouldn't be that long. But see, like a gestational period for most marsupials is really short. Like a possum's like 12 days.
Oh shit!
And then they
That's
give
super fast.
birth and then move it to the pouch. And then in the pouch, that's where all
There's
the
the rest
nipples
of the
are
stuff,
and
yeah.
everything, and they grow. Oh, that's fucked up. Male dolphins form alliances with other males to court and mate with females, often working together to isolate a female from her group.
So they're frat,
Well, it's
basically.
Yeah,
weird.
dude, they're the frat fish of the.
Frat mammals, bro.
Yep. Do. There's so many fucked up things in the animal kingdom. Platypus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like we should like the next segment we could do like multiple parts on this one, honestly.
Where's
Like the
platypuses?
flatworm penis fencing. It's technically called a hypodermic.
And they're both hermaphrodite. Yeah, so
Hermaphrodites.
basically, like, they fight to be like, no, like, you're not gonna fuck me, I'm gonna fuck you. Like,
Yeah, but this one stabs. Like they literally stab into
Yeah.
their body. It doesn't go like into their reproductive
mhm.
organ or anything. It just stabs them
When
into
you were
their
saying
body.
fencing, I just like thought for
Yeah, so they
dominance.
have a dagger-like penis. Basically, so they are hermaphrodites. Each individual can act as both sperm donor, male, and egg bearer, female. Energetically, it's far costlier to carry fertilized eggs than to donate sperm. So that's why they call it fighting. They literally fight. They're like, "No, you're
Dude,
the
could
mom.
you
No,
imagine?
fuck you. You're gonna be the mom.
Could
no,
you
fuck
imagine thinking you're going to like impregnate something and then you accidentally like,
And then
ha
it's
ha
like,
ha, take my dick, and then she's like, oh my god, that's my heart, and then like,
and like die. Well, okay, so a fierce duel where both attempt to assimilate the other via stabbing with double-headed dagger-like penises called stylets. They glide tail to tail, rear up, and thrust their stylets, aiming to inject sperm through the skin of the opponent.
I think it's stilettes. Like
Uh,
stiletto heels,
mhm.
stiletto knives.
Mhm.
It says stylets. I don't
That's
know. Maybe
pronounced.
stylets.
All right,
Yeah,
hold
that's
on.
pronounced.
Ray's not the best at pronouncing stuff.
I don't know.
we
Look it up.
played the game Watch Your Mouth one time where you put the like
Oh my
jaw
God.
expander things in, and he the word that he had
I
to
don't
say
even know the rest of the story now.
the-
Oh my god.
well the word
You,
that
you guys actually did that on camera?
no. This was like
Oh, it's just for you two?
no. It was
no.
it was we did guys versus girls, and so his word that he had to pronounce for us other guys to guess was porpoise, and he kept saying poor poise, and he got
I
mad.
thought it was the
It-
fucking
it-
like
it's spelled
color or
that way.
something.
He got mad when he took the mouthpiece out. He's like, poor poise. I'm like, what the fuck? And I looked at the card and I was like, porpoise, you dumbass.
I was like, oh, I didn't know it meant dolphin. I was like,
Yeah, they're extremely.
Didn't know that's how it was
extremely
spelled.
Similar, extremely similar. Porpoises and dolphins.
so okay, the first to successfully stab, the
This
back to the
flatworms, right?
flatworms, yeah.
Mhm.
The first to successfully stab becomes the winner, the father, while the wounded
The winner,
partner,
also called the father.
yeah, becomes the mother and bears the eggs. So it's like, haha, now you have to carry the kids. Bye.
Can they impregnate each other at the same time?
I guess.
I mean,
But I
assume
mean-
so.
I mean, with insects, they're probably just bailing too, right? They're not even providing child support. They're not bringing them.
Oh yeah,
food or anything.
flatworms. They're just like, no,
They're
fuck
gone.
that. I'm out.
Yep.
These duels can last minutes or to over an hour and leave visible injection wounds.
Jesus.
In some species, reciprocal insemination occurs, both stab and exchange sperm. So sometimes, yeah, it does happen.
And they're both fucked,
Yeah.
literally.
If a worm cannot find a partner, it can even self-inseminate by stabbing its own head to fertilize its eggs. So it's just like, nah, fuck it.
So- Female ferrets can die if they don't mate. And basically, what happens is their organs start to just disintegrate and become cancerous because they're not being used. And that's why, like, they suggest with,
Cancerous?
like, huh?
Like fully cancerous or like necrotic where
Well,
they die?
they can just, like, start disintegrating and decomposing in their body.
It's like necrotic tissue.
Yeah,
is dying
and,
tissue. On
like, I
humans, it looks
know-
black.
I know pigs can be highly susceptible to cancers, like female pigs, if you don't have them spayed, because all that stuff starts breaking down. And
Hmm.
yeah,
Does that mean like they basically don't have periods? To shed the lining and the eggs and stuff?
I think they do, but I think if
It's
it's
a
not
completely different
used, then it's kind of like,
Is it the,
I don't know.
the whole you don't lose it, you use it.
yeah.
You don't use it, you lose it.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say I was looking through to see if there was anything else we missed.
I know.
So-
I mean, we talked about just like flatworms bailing, but like there are monogamous animals out there that aren't humans, where they like
Mhm.
birds they'll stay together like for life.
Yep.
Just mate for life.
There are types of birds that will commit suicide if their mate dies. They'll dive bomb the ground. And then like it's real common that if some like if swans and doves and pigeons are real like famous for partnering up for life. And then if something happens to one of them, like they'll die of heartbreak. And
You know, there's an actual medical human condition. It's like heartbreak syndrome, where you
Mhm.
can physically die from
Yeah.
too much heartbreak.
Yep.
And they don't have a clue, because like some people lose like multiple kids in their spouse and they won't get it. Somebody will
Yeah.
just lose like a friend or a spouse or a girlfriend or something, and then they'll get it. And you're like, how the
so now, after animals have sex, most of them have a gestational period. Any guess on how many days an elephant is pregnant?
I guess a long time.
Like, isn't it 12
Close.
months?
It's like 670 days.
Yeah, wow, that's
like,
so-
what,
that's
12?
almost, that's
Over
almost 2
24
years.
months?
Yeah. Oh, well, almost
It's
2
under.
years.
It's 365.
Sperm whales are 535
It's
days.
like 22 months basically.
Yeah.
Rhinos are 467 days
Oh, wow.
on
It's very
average.
size dependent.
Giraffes 430. Zebras 375. Donkeys almost a full year. Same with sloths. Let's find something unusual.
Sloths are just lazy, man. The
Quadrupedal
rest of them are just
animals retain their
Yeah.
babies a lot.
Apes
Longer.
270 days. I mean that's us. And
big. Yeah, it's
gorillas
9
are
months.
around the same. Yeah.
It's 9 months. 30,
Yeah,
30 days
primates.
a month.
It's
Nine
because
times three,
it's
two,
'cause they're
27,
bipedal.
27.
Deer are about 250 days.
Oh wow.
Let's scroll
Yeah,
down a little
rabbits.
bit.
Anything like smaller, they're
Some of the smaller monkeys are around 200 days. I know on average birds are about 4 weeks.
Before they lay the egg,
After an egg is
fertilized.
fertilized. Armadillos are 120 days. Bears, like the giant panda, is 127 days.
Are pandas bears? I don't think they're bears.
I said a bear.
I don't think pandas are bears.
I know red pandas aren't bears.
Yeah.
Cats.
I was watching Guardians of
like
the
a
Galaxy.
Canadian
It's like,
Canadian lynx is 60 days.
Don't call me a raccoon. It's like, all right, my
The-
bad. I said trash
Domestic
panda.
dog on average is about 60 days, about 2 months.
So the banana slugs,
Mhm.
they have this thing called penis chewing, where it will like chew off the other penis. So they're hermaphrodites, right?
Mhm.
They have very long penises, and the way they mate is kind of weird because they entwine their penises together, and they basically like shoot out the sperm, which is like the sticky slime.
Okay, they are bears, but they have their entire own branch of the
Yeah.
bear family tree.
So most marsupials are around a month. Squirrels are about 40 days. And hamsters are anywhere from about a week and a half to 3 weeks. Or about 2 weeks to 3 weeks. No wonder those fucking things.
Have you ever seen
Pretty
a
weird.
koala, like a baby koala?
Mhm.
They're just like these tiny, like
Little like pink
yeah,
dot.
like pink or purple little
Yep.
nothings on their stomach.
Okay, back to the banana slugs. So the penis may become stuck inside the partner after mating, in which, if it can't be withdrawn, one slug will chew off the other penis off of the other, a process called apophallation. The slug that loses its penis can no longer mate as a male, only as a female. Because they're hermaphrodites.
They
Yeah,
have,
so they have both
It's like
parts.
Jamie Lee Curtis, remember that rumor back in the day?
Mhm.
Oh my god.
There's also the rumor of Marilyn Manson.
What's his real name?
I don't know.
I
You
I
ever seen Sons of Anarchy?
Huh?
You ever seen the TV show Sons
Yeah.
of Anarchy? He plays just himself in it. He's like a white supremacist and leader in the,
What the
in the
fuck?
prison, but like he doesn't have any makeup on or anything.
Weird.
I didn't recognize him at first, at all, really. And this was like way after he was, you saw the music videos for him from back in the day.
yeah.
Mhm.
It was very different.
So
It's a messed up show.
to wrap up, we are going to tell you guys about some of the grossest and oddest sexual acts of all
Wait,
time.
how far are we? How
Dude,
far are
we're
we
almost at
recording?
an hour.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I have so many more.
Do you want to do it as a second part?
I mean, I have a list of 50. And we didn't talk about clownfish. I mean,
Yeah, we did.
what did we talk about clownfish?
They
Did
can change sex.
genders?
Yeah, but how?
I don't know.
I don't know the exact biology behind it.
So all clownfish are born male. Within a group, the largest and most dominant becomes the female. If the female dies, the next largest male changes its sex to take the place of the female. So it's kind of weird. It's a sequential hermaphrodism that ensures there will always be a breeding pair in any social unit. So it's
What do you
kind of
need?
odd. Gender change is permanent and hormonally regulated, not behavioral. So it doesn't act like a female. It's just like it's just a dude that like is like a female now. So,
Weird.
Odd. Gender fluidity.
Mm-hmm.
Did it pop back in? Jonathan popped out his shoulder blade.
The more you dislocate or sublimate something, the easier it is.
Yeah,
to
you
get
just
back in,
lean on it
'cause,
and you're
like,
like, oh
'cause
shit.
it stretches all the ligaments and everything. So like the first time is just fucking awful, and then it's just a painful annoyance. And the pain goes away very quickly after you do it. Like,
Yeah, like,
fingers aren't bad, but like the large ball and socket joints, like hips and shoulders, are pretty rough.
Mm-hmm.
Jason's heard me in the yard a few times, probably.
I have
just lose it.
There's another one called the Amazon Molly, which is sperm stilling
What-
asexuality.
What is it?
It's a type of fish.
Okay.
So the Amazon Molly fish are all female, reproducing via
This is freshwater.
gynogenesis. They mate with closely related male species, but the sperm only triggers embryonic development. No genetic material is absorbed from the male. So basically, they use they basically use the males as like, all right, get it started, and then we'll just put all of our DNA into it, and that's it.
Muscovy ducks. I did not know this. I have a couple. The females have a corkscrew or spiral vagina.
Do
Well,
the
that
do
kinda makes
the
sense,
males
right?
also have a corkscrew, or they
They have a corkscrew penis.
they
yeah.
just like
I guess.
So like coils into it,
Mm-hmm.
huh?
Bed bugs. They mate by fucking dying. No. Piercing the female abdomen.
Oh wow. So is it another hypodermic?
That's what it sounds like.
Insemination,
Yeah.
what's that? Remember me telling you about that? It was on like E-Bombs World when we were kids. It was a rabbit and he had like a number on him and it was called "Everyone Else Has Had More Sex Than Me."
Oh
And
yeah.
they keep singing it, and there's a verse in it where he talks about like a spider dying to have sex, and he just like basically screams, "I reckon it's worth it."
Giant pandas have about a 24 to 72 hour window a year to mate.
So to kind of summarize, the methods basically in the animal kingdom are so with hermaphrodites you have like a role play or like a fencing sort of fighting kind of thing. So basically you're either chosen or you choose the other way, and like sometimes it's just nature and it happens. So the other one is self cloning and DNA capture.
Mm-hmm.
So like other, like birds and fish, like clams, they'll just collect sperm and then be like, okay, yeah, this one.
What are
Um,
clams?
Sexual
I'm blanking on it.
They're a mollusk.
parasitism.
Thank you, Jesus. I was thinking crustaceans and it's just running through it in my head.
Then there's like sexual parasitism
Crabs
and
next.
fusion. So like the anglerfish. Extreme genital adaptation. So like beaver, like echidnas with the four-headed penis.
Beavers have a four-headed penis too.
Yeah, beavers do too.
So what's the vagina like of a beaver like deal, like an echidna or something?
I don't know.
Is it just the same thing, or is it
I'd have to look it up.
Do they like spank each other with their paddle tail?
I know porcupines. They pee. So they pee on each other. Porcupines do. The male will pee on the female to like, get her going, and then she's like, "Yeah, I'm into this. Let's fuck."
so they're German?
The other one is brooding and egg hosting.
sorry. I sat there and I just looked up. I was just like, animal foreplay. And then,
Oh
like,
my god!
the second thing it pops up like zoo sex movie with a twist. Watch it for free.
What the fuck?
Animal porn XXX.
Oh my god!
What is Judy Hopps into?
We can't research anything, dude.
No, you can't. I still remember as a kid looking up like Dick's Sporting Goods. You're like dicks.com, and you hit enter, and your brain's like, you fucked up, bro.
You're like, no, no.
Did anyone ever-
Echidnas, unlike most animals, do not have a vagina. Instead, they possess a cloaca.
Oh, that's
Single
interesting.
opening used for urination, defecation, egg laying in females. So that, like, I know like crocodiles have that. Crocodilians.
That's not what
lots of
birds have?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like
like
cloaca. Even like a lot of experts can't even tell the sex of crocodilians. Like
That's so fucking weird.
you have to,
Like,
jam your finger
that's
in
the
there. And
same
like, if you feel
fucking-
something,
So there's also
South Park.
I know what you're talking about.
there's also sex.
Crikey, I'm gonna stick my thumb in its bum.
There's also sex chains and gender fluidity. So like the clownfish and the certain reef fish and hyenas and stuff. And then there's sacrificial mating and explosive coupling. So like the honeybees and the redback spiders and stuff.
Orb
and the
weavers.
mantises. Yeah, the orb weavers. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, they're just
Thank
they're-
God we just fuck.
yeah, but they're just programmed. That's the most important thing. It's more important than anything else. Like a lot of people with kids, like they would die for their kids. And that's
Yeah.
what they're doing basically. They're
Yeah.
programmed to protect.
They're
and-
like,
and
all right,
get- and
let's just
propagate the
die
species."
for our offspring.
But they don't even see them or name them or talk to them. They're just like, I know this might happen. See ya.
Sea hares. This is interesting. A sea hare. It's kind of like a sea slug, but they have a chain mating. Basically, they're hermaphrodites. So, let me see.
Go fuck yourself.
How chain mating works. Forming the chain. During mating season, sea hares gather in large aggregations, sometimes numbering in the dozens. They align their bodies head to tail, forming a living mating chain.
You're thinking of the movie Human Centipede, man.
Bro, no, this is like they're like, all right, I'm gonna get fucked and I'm gonna fuck
It's like
you.
leapfrog fucking, man. You're just like lined up and then one goes.
So like basically the last one, the only one in the end is the only one who acts as the male. The rest of them are female and male.
It just reminds me of how everyone that has long hair in my house doesn't know how to clean out the fucking drain in the shower.
Yeah, like you don't have to worry about if your drain gets clogged up and you have our
Mm-hmm.
hair, you're not just like, I wonder whose this is. You're like, I don't know, it's that long. It's not mine.
What if the hair, the sea hairs, like formed into a circle,
Like a wreath.
and then they just
Circle jerk,
connect it at the end, and then it's just like they fuck in a whole entire circle.
like the Ouroboros deal with the
They're
snake
like,
eating its
yeah,
tail.
they're all gonna be mothers after this. Like what? It's crazy.
What else is a hermaphrodite besides that kind of like slugs and stuff like that? What's like the most evolved hermaphrodite? Do we know? Anybody know?
I don't know. I mean, I
Besides
feel like
Jamie
we
Lee
could go.
Curtis again, she's pretty
Honestly,
evolved.
we could probably have like a whole episode on like each one of these, like seahorses, hyenas. I mean, we could literally go into
Yeah,
depth
all
into
the
all
stuff
of
I
this stuff.
already knew was because I watched a documentary and it wasn't on like it wasn't. I mean, not documentary, but like a an hour or two long thing on Discovery Channel late at night or something, and it wasn't on like one specific.
It's
thing.
mainly seems like it's okay. So seems like it's like leeches, prawns, like a lot of like crayfish and stuff like that.
Yeah, water
slugs,
things in the water.
water
yeah.
insects.
So why do they do this?
Tapeworms.
It maximizes reproductive output in dense mating aggregations. So chain mating allows every participant except the ends, like the male, that he doesn't have to brood any. He doesn't
just
get any
gets the bail.
offspring. He just
Mhm.
fucks and then that's it. The female doesn't get to pass on her
I
genes.
guess, and
She
for
just
them,
gets
they're not doing it for
inseminated.
pleasure. So he's just getting
Yeah, they're
screwed,
just like, we have to do this. This is it.
just
and
taking
then-
turns.
To act as both mother and father, doubling reproductive potential, efficiency and timing. Mating chain tend to occur during peak reproductive conditions like specific temperatures or moon phases, maximizing fertilization chances. Egg laying. After mating, sea hares lay long, colorful, spaghetti-like gelatinous egg masses, often on rocks
Yeah,
or
they, like attach them
seagrass.
to other stuff and leave it there.
Yeah.
These less evolved, species have to have these massive quantities of offspring and do it more frequently because they're low on the food chain. They're getting eaten.
Yeah.
We don't really get eaten by anything. We don't do something stupid to get eaten by. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
free diving with great white sharks. Like, yeah, you got fucking eaten. But like, if you
Yeah,
just
so-
live your life, it's probably not gonna happen.
So I mean, they're hermaphrodites, but they can't self-fertilize themselves. So like the flatworms, they can
stab
like
themselves.
self-fertilize themselves.
That
These
considered
ones they
asexual?
cannot.
Is asexual? Does that count, or is it? is
That's
no
technically
fertilization
not
at all?
asexual. That's I
Asexual
think it's
does
just
it, like, completely-
self-fertilization. Asexuality is like, well, I guess like the virgin birth, and
Oh,
Komodo dragons.
lions do have sex for pleasure. So do
Yeah.
gorillas.
Primate. These are Japanese macaques,
Mhm.
chimpanzees.
Do we want to finish this off with our
Sea otters, they have sex for pleasure.
with our other list? Snakes have a stored sperm. They store sperm like with the female
The
snakes.
female holds it, or the male?
Yeah, so like the garter snake, cottonmouths, and vipers, they can store sperm for months or even years inside specialized glands
So
inside
they're like
their body.
the Instagram chicks hunting down famous dudes.
Yeah,
to
they're
get
like,
pregnant.
hey, they're
Just
like,
like, I'm
hey,
gonna hold that for later.
I'm
After
gonna keep
9
this
months.
in my DM. There we go.
I got 2 dudes from the NBA. That's twice the checks.
This lets them delay fertilization until the environment conditions are like perfect. So it's like it's not too hot, not too cold. Okay, this is the great, like perfect area to lay my eggs. I'm gonna lay my eggs and fertilize them. They're good. And then some snakes can use stored sperm from multiple males, resulting in a single clutch of genetically diverse offspring. So that means that they can have, eggs in this one batch. They go to like another area. They have eggs in another batch, different sperm. They can come back and they can mate. So there's no
There's
Inbreeding.
No inbreeding. It'll less chance.
it,
Yep.
less
deformities
chance of
and-
the deformities and stuff. So there's less birth defects in snakes. in
You
that.
want to wrap up with our list?
our
other
list of
Yes.
Their
So we're going
list.
to do some that are off an article first, and then we are going to do some that Ray may or may not have tried with his teddy bear when he's 12 years
No,
old.
what the fuck?
What's the fucked
uh,
up part of that? It's having a teddy bear at 12 years old.
The first one in this article is from Jezebel.com, the 10 grossest sex acts as described by Urban Dictionary. This is called the Kentucky Klondike Bar, and this is the act of freezing a bowel movement and sexually penetrating another with the frozen bowel movement.
Oh, what the fuck?
I don't know. It sounds gross.
You think?
The Panamanian petting
Panamanian.
zoo, and this is when one forces one's partner to pick up nuts and corn out of a bowel movement. The partner then
Ew.
presents the nuts and corn to or in a cup or a dish,
Ew.
then tosses the nuts and corn on the bed where the partner eats them
Ew.
like a goat or other petting zoo animal.
Ew.
Can be can be combined with the Kentucky Klondike Bar.
It
Ew.
reminds me of the second Deuce Bigelow where they're showing him how to make a Portuguese breakfast.
The Alabama Hot Pocket. That's the
Never
art
turn your back on
of
family,
separating
man.
the vagina lips
Never
and
turn your back on family.
taking a shit inside and then having sex with the person.
Oh.
The
Okay.
joke the other day was like, why is reverse cowgirl illegal in Alabama? And it was because you never turn your back on
Yep.
family.
You don't turn your back on family. Mexican. I got one. Mexican pancake. It's rather tame and doable. Gross act. This one is when a man comes on a woman's face, lets it dry like a mask, and he peels it off of her and feeds it to her. Mexican pancake.
What the fuck is that Mexican?
I don't know.
I kept waiting for the Mexican part. I'm like, I'm following.
It's like, is it spicy? What the fuck?
And then you put jalapenos. Like, I don't.
You can serve it. with
What?
jalapenos.
Okay, this one's called the Flying Camel. As your gal's lying on her back and you are
That's how we got this, right?
Yeah, and
It's
you
the
are
bitter
hamming
aftertaste.
her from your knees. You very
I was trying to
carefully
put that down. I'm like, I can't find the fucking.
you very carefully move forward and prop yourself without using your arms on your dick while still inside her vagina. You then proceed to flap your arms and let out a long shriek, howl much like a flying camel.
The fuck is a flying camel, bro?
Jesus Christ. I don't know. Cold lunch, the simple act of forcing yourself to throw up into another person's mouth. Ooh. Gross.
Vomit is not cold, man.
Or to deep throat so hard you regurgitate on your partner's penis and continue sucking.
You regurgitate on your partner's penis?
Nope.
You just said
I've
your
never
partner's
had that.
penis. Your.
I've had a girl throw up on me, but I've never had a girl continue sucking my dick after that.
I had a friend who had a girl throw up on him. Like, they weren't even. She just took her top off and then threw up on him. It was awesome. So
Oh, like straight up, like off of Superbad, huh?
Yeah.
Place your nuts in a bowl of warm water and have a girl put a straw in the bowl and blow bubbles under your balls. Rubber ducky is option, and this is called a ball and koozie.
Oh, I'm definitely going the full rubber ducky if we're going that far.
The Lion King, if you go tribal and ritualistic with your girl, you can do the Lion King. This is when you have sex with your girl, you pull your dick out before you ejaculate and jack off on your own hand, and then have your girl kneel in front of you with your thumb, smear a sperm across her forehead, and say, Simba.
Hold her up. What's
Oh
his
my
name? What's
God.
the monkey's name? Like
Rafiki?
Rafiki.
Yeah.
Rafiki.
I'm going to.
Just laugh like him.
Yeah, you guys all have kids. I have to remember this stuff from childhood.
I'm gonna read. We're gonna read some off of our list now.
That was from lovepinky.com, by the way.
This is called the fifth hole, and if the chick has a stoma, you use that and bypass the gag reflux, and it's the deepest of the deep holes.
No. No, man.
The
Deepest of the
100-year-old
deepest.
the 100-year-old hand is when you fall asleep with your hand inside of a vagina, and when you wake up, it's wrinkled.
You wake up with a wrinkled
Reminds
hand.
me, remember Ned from South Park?
Yeah.
He's got the voice go to,
Yes.
Ned, are you jerking off?
Well, yeah.
Maybe.
Uh,
Every time I watch that, I'm just like, how is he using the microphone up to his neck to
We could
talk
probably
and jerk
just
off with
like
one hand?
wing some off at the top of our head right now too.
the Ghostbusters, where you bust a nut in her eyes, and before she has a chance to clean it out, you run out the door and never come back. We are not reading the next one.
Okay.
No.
That's fine.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Nope.
Elote.
And our final episode ever.
Elote is when you're using corn on the cob in a girl who's on her period, and you sprinkle
no.
sprinkle
Made me hear it
Parmesan
twice.
cheese.
Mongolian death worm.
That's when you.
This is when you take vampire teeth, put it on an uncircumcised penis, then you roll back the skin so that the teeth pop out, and it looks like a death worm.
Dude, that should be called something related to Alien. The
Make a
thing that
hiss
pops
noise.
out.
Like, what the fuck is that? Suck it.
Pigs in the mud is when you toe fuck someone, and then you bring in the ass, and then when you bring your foot out, then
Got that little part, huh?
Your toes covered in shit, and they lick it off.
Thanksgiving dinner is when you shove stuffing inside of her and fuck her until the stuffing becomes moist. Then you say grace after, and you eat the food while wearing pilgrim's hats.
I think you told me this the first time when you were giving me your goddamn stuffing seeds. And I
Plain
was like, at the
doctor.
same time, you couldn't have waited till I finished. and
This
started a new
one's
flavor.
this one's called Plain Doctor. You jizz all over a body part of hers, and before it has a chance to dry, you wrap it up in toilet paper and then let it harden like a cast.
That'll help your shoulder.
It's just like, what the fuck?
French
Fuck,
dip.
kinetic tape would work.
French dip. You pour au jus into her vagina, and then you fuck her with a roast beef sandwich. And eat it after.
You're just ruining all great food for me, man. I love French dips.
You get to eat the roast beef
I
sandwich
love
out.
French dips. Yeah,
Tell-
but it's gonna. I'm gonna have recall to the other stuff, the frozen Klondike shit. It's gonna come.
What if
forever.
you-
I'm
what
gonna
if
be like,
you,
this is
like-
great? Nope, I'm done.
What if they? What if you did that and then like the next day you find out there's a listeria recall like on that brand, and you're like, oh fuck, I gotta call her.
It's like not only do I have pink eye, I have a listeria.
You're sitting there watching the news. Recall due to listeria. You're like, oh shit, I gotta make a phone call.
You seen that Family Guy where Peter's a boxer and he's like, every time they punch me in the gut, I'd fart. By the end of the first round, everyone in the first row had pink eye. Like,
They're like,
The King Arthur is when you shove a dildo in her ass, and you and your friends take turns trying to pull it out.
I love how there's no prep for it. You're just waiting for this, and it's like, and by the way, your friends are there. Like,
yeah, wait, we're not finished with the King Arthur. You and your friends take turns pulling it out until you pull it out and wield it over your head and declare the land in a divine order.
Canadian starfish is when you funnel maple syrup into her ass and use it as a lube. Then, after you get some good pumps in and make sure it gets in there far, then you sit back and admire as our starfish squirts maple syrup out.
God.
Then you can either lick it straight from the source or enjoy it over pancakes.
or sausage or bacon.
The,
I put it on my eggs.
the Eskimos where you stick your dick in a bunch of ice.
Eskimo is not correct anymore, man.
Oh my god.
I thought it was. Oh.
Inuit. It's Inuit now. It's like saying Indian versus Native American now.
Anyways,
It's canceled.
we'll be all right. And then you, when your dick is really cold, then you shove it inside of her, and then it makes her cold, makes her shiver, and then you get off on the shivering. Jelly and jam is when you take your limp dick and lazily rub it on her until it gets hard, and then you jam it inside her.
I don't. This one doesn't have a title.
Yet.
Oh, that's the s'more. That's the s'more. Go ahead and tell them.
How can I
Okay,
have
so the
s'more if I
s'more-
haven't had any yet?
This is where you use marshmallow fluff for anal lube, and then when you pull it out, you spray the you sprinkle graham crackers on it, and then she licks it off. What the fuck?
You're killing me, Smalls. Sandlot.
Mhm.
The s'mores deal. Come on, man. It was just July the 4th.
What's the next one?
Noodling.
Noodling is where you slide a small catfish over your dick and insert your catfish-covered penis inside her.
What the fuck? What the fuck? It's all fishy and shit. Wait, is this a live catfish?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, people
fuck.
they noodle by just like jamming their arm under like rock crevices, and they get giant catfish to like lock onto their whole forearm. and they
What's
just
this
yank
one?
them out like that.
Which one? Highlight it, and I can point, like, hover over it, click next to it, and it'll tell me which one you're talking about.
You guys are all synced up.
The Tony Soprano.
The Tony Soprano. After coming inside your girl, you make your girl pinch her vagina lips closed, then proceed to jizz on them. Then she crosses her leg until it dries. Then her lips are sealed.
Jeez.
You want me to read the last two? The chocolate dip.
You can skip that one. That was bad.
What? Come on.
Really?
It's
We have
when
a
you're
fucking
about to
line at this
finish,
point? There
And
is no
your girl
line.
sticks her finger up your ass. You nut into her mouth, and then she pulls out her finger and licks her finger clean. It's chocolate dip.
All these people are not doing meal prep.
The last one that I have is the Kansas City Fountain. It's when you flip a girl who's on her period upside down, and then you fuck her until she squirts. It's red and gold for the Chiefs. It's
You
Casey
better not, it
Fountain.
better not be Royals, man. All this blue out of nowhere.
You're like, what the fuck? Why is it blue?
It's gonna be football season. It can't be any crossover. It's gotta be at least November for this to happen. No chance of the World Series.
What else can we think of? Can you think
That's
of one
all.
off the top of your head?
This is what keeps me awake at night, man. What do you mean? What
How about-
else can I think of? Like,
How
nothing
about
else.
what's one of the worst ones that you've heard?
All the
Tonight?
ones we just read.
Oh my god, I have like I think I have a internet list. Well,
I don't
okay,
know.
I'll tell you one that I've heard of.
So
And
this became a joke between us because Ray's car was fucked up, so I was giving him rides to and from, and just to help keep myself awake because like we record late. I would just start rattling
you,
off
bro.
this. Well, yeah, true. 6 o'clock comes early, but I would just rattle off these bullshit fucking things, and he started like writing or typing some of them up, but like towards the end, like there's probably about another 100 of them we made up.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other ones
But-
that we thought of. So one of the worst ones that I've heard of is called a lawnmower. The lawnmower is it uses anal beads. You basically assure your girl that
Oh,
it's
no.
gonna
It's
be
gonna
very
it's gonna
gentle.
be a pull start.
It's not gonna be rough at all, and then you just yank it out like you're starting a lawnmower. And then she's like screams louder than a lawnmower. So
All right. Well, this is going to be our last episode. Hopefully not. but-
Whatever.
I
keeps me
hope
from
we
eating
don't
one of
get
those
canceled.
crabs
I don't
things,
no, I
man.
don't think we will. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in.
I mean, all this
We
shit's on the internet,
apologize
honestly.
deeply
We
from the bottom
apologize.
of our fucking cold black hearts.
We apologize from the bottom of our anus.
Ain't no one going near my anus. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Later.
Bye.